Hello, I'm Brian Sack, and this is Fareed Zakaria Said Something Incredibly Stupid.
I said something stupid.
Fareed Zakaria, CNN host and self-described confidant of President Obama, recently suggested on his television show that the U.S. Constitution was old and tired and needed a little updating. And who does Zakaria think should overhaul the world's most enduring constitution? Why, the citizens of the internet, of course. The men and women of cyberspace, who while away their work time offering opinions on everything from religion and history to science and, of course, politics, when not accidentally tweeting their fan base, casting fireballs at ice ogres, or pretending to be a Syrian lesbian. Zakaria's suggestion seems counterintuitive, considering the fact that 87% of people commenting on the internet have no idea what they're talking about. Despite that, Zakaria, who does have smart guy bona fides, would love for Americans to Twitter and Facebook and YouTube us a new governing document that's more modern and with it than that antiquated claptrap that's been holding us back for so long. Why? Because that's what Iceland is doing.
And now, insignificant country!
Iceland, a country slightly smaller than Kentucky, with 1,000th the population of the United States, populated by the descendants of Vikings, where sulfur-laced steam pours out of the ground, and where this past April I spent $50 on 2 plates of chicken fingers. This geographically stunning volcanic moonscape is apparently a source of inspiration to Zakaria. He admires Icelanders for their decision to scrap their constitution and try something else, with the help of crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing, the modern-day term for inviting and incorporating everyone's fantastic ideas. In the case of Iceland, that would be universal health care, an end to corporate political donations, and prohibition of shark finning. Might I also suggest an end to their 100% tax on alcohol? That really hurt my pocketbook. Naturally, Zakaria's "our constitution is boring" idea set off all sorts of alarm bells for folks, and especially for Glenn, who immediately saw a vast conspiracy behind India-born Zakaria's appreciation of Icelandic spirit.
They came up with a new, better idea than having people get into a room with the shades drawn and have people like George Soros, who's advising me on what shows to do, et cetera, I contend. So we don't want to do that. We want to have it open. And so they did it on the internet. And they had people just like you who know what's best. They know.
I know what's best. Not asking all humanity for suggestions, whilst openly pining for U.S. Constitution 2.0 on his show. Zakaria neglected to tell his audience just why Iceland's government is looking for a new constitution in the first place. It's because their economy collapsed, and their economy collapsed in part because it couldn't afford to do what it set out to do, which was to make everyone in Iceland very happy by spending lots of money they didn't have on them. Free healthcare, free education from preschool through university, generous pensions, a standard of living that's quite nice and enviable indeed. Unfortunately, it's really expensive. You eventually get the bill, all hell breaks loose, and your economy collapses. Then what happens? Your biggest industry is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game called EVE Online. That's right. Iceland's real economy is largely dependent on a fictional economy plagued by space pirates. Since they fear that might not be enough, they've launched a serious tourism campaign, which explains why you've been hearing about Iceland so much lately. Now, I like Iceland. They have hilarious bar stools. And while we should wish Icelanders the best of luck with their new constitution endeavor, we should probably warn them that there's a risk of too many chefs spoiling the country. I know Zakaria seems bothered by the fact that the world's longest-lasting constitution was assembled by a small group of colonials. But it is the world's longest enduring constitution, though maybe they were onto something. After all, nothing good ever comes out of a focus group.